Raul, welcome.
Nice to be here. So it's a pleasure for us, let me say, to participate in these institutional events because for us it's very important. We participate past year when we was selected one of the top 3 microrancher companies in Europe. For us it's very glad to stay here during these days, yes.
Can you give us background on your company, how it was formed, in really the roadmap of where you are?
Yes, so PLD Space was founded in 2011. We started developing a small engine, a liquid rocket engine. So that kind of engines was never previously developed in Europe from the private sector. So we was the pioneers. We call us the original microrancher company because we found the company when there was nobody talking about small launcher and new space and to startups in the space field. So we are very proud of that. So after that, we demonstrate that first liquid rocket engine that we developed in Spain. Start to, let me say, to raise more money and to start to develop our financial milestones. Fundraising up to today more than 60 million euros, 60. So it's quite okay. And in that past decade, we developed all the critical technology we need to operate a small vehicle. So we develop all the subsystems in-house, structures, all the harnessing, part of the avionics, flight software, ground software. So we develop many things. Past year, we achieved our biggest milestone until today. It was to test a ground system level test. So we integrate an enter vehicle and we perform a full duration hot fire with our vehicle, with Miura-1. We are close, so we are in the following, I think, 2 months, we will do our first flight attempt from Spain also in a small military range in Spain. That will be the base to develop our orbital vehicle, Miura-5. So we are a very, let me say, conservative company. We want to go step by step, not bullshitting that much, and to try to deliver milestone because the market is growing a lot, and we detect the market opportunity 10 years ago, and today the maturity level of that is quite high. So we are very happy because our investors are happy and also our customers. So that's our roadmap. Today PLD Space is a company of 120 full-time employees. We are growing up to 260 or something like that because we are increasing infrastructure capacity because the size of Miura-1 is 12-meter rocket, but Miura-5 is 36 tall meters of rockets. So we need to increase everything. We need to increase our facilities to test engines, our facility to manufacture the rockets, not just the prototype, it's to manufacture in serial production. We are very proud of that. Also, we have strong institutional support. We sign some contract with the European Space Agency. We have grants for the European Commission and also at national level. So we have a strong support at national level, CDTI, and it will be followed by the support of our new or under foundation Spanish Space Agency. So we are very happy on that. Plus many of private investors. So this is, let me see at a glance, how PLD Space is progressing to achieve the market the sooner.
Can you tell us more about your facilities in terms of the spaceport and access?
Yes, of course. So our current facility, PLD Space, has today 4, let me say, bases. Our headquarters is in Elche. Elche it's a city in the southwest part of Spain, close to Ibiza, beach area and so on. So it's a good place to live. Here we have 2,000 square meter workshop. When we manufacture all the engines and all the structure, we have the avionics laboratory, materials laboratory, so all the, let me say, basic infrastructure to be a launcher company. So we have a 15,000 square meter ground base in an airport, in a non-commercial airport, when we made all the rocket, all the hot fires, so all the dangerous tests, like for example to test engines, to test, to do boosters of structures, to test high pressure tanks, things like that. We have the bunkers and we have the, let me say, the proper area to develop that test. Our third base, it's El Arenosillo. It's also in Spain. It's southeast of Spain. There we have a small military range to do flight tests. So we perform from there all our parachute testing, all the drop testing and so on. And that will be the base to do the testing of Miura-1 and maybe Miura-5 in the future, just to do test flights. For commercial spaceport, we are now working and we're seeing some, let me say, the first contract with CNES to be an operator from Kourou, and for us it's very important to be an operator for that, because Kourou for us is the European spaceport, and we are very proud to starting the, let me say, all the project and to start to do all the engineering part of our implementation there. So we are very happy with our colleagues in France to be an operator from there. And of course we are following the other spaceport and the other facilities around the world, because we are a company that we love to go step by step, but our ambition is huge. So that will be our, let me say, first step, and we will see in the future in which other bases we can do operations.
The first launch, possibly within the next couple of months. Can you give us your expectations and what this will lead to?
Yes, of course. So it's a maiden flight. A maiden flight, you know that it's a very tricky maneuver. So we are, let me say, optimistic, because we made during that past year an amazing and very in-deep test campaign. So our product assurance are super high. We are, but we are a kind of new space company, but we follow the old guys' procedures and so on, because we don't want to put any risk on the vehicle, because you know the market respects you, and you can fail doing, let me say, test flight, but not the commercial ones. The penalty of that will be super high. It was very conservative, also selecting technologies. So we prefer to develop, let me say, state-of-the-art technologies, because at the end our value proposition for the market is not the rocket itself. So our value proposition for the market is the service that we can provide to our customers. So for a satellite operator, the material of the rocket, it doesn't matter for that guys. They are asking about price, they are asking about lead time, the orbital accuracy and the environmental condition during the flight, and they are not asking if the engine is 3D printed or not, or if you are using that fuel or that other. But it's a risky flight, but the important thing for us is to learn. So we are learning, and if we fail, we will have the data, we learn, and we will try it again.
Really interesting and exciting times for the space industry. How does it feel to be the lead players in that now?
Yes, so we feel a high responsibility, because there are many eyes looking on us. The competition is hard, because there are other guys doing very amazing things, but we think our value proposition is the most, let me say, honest and realistic. The space industry is quite hard. It's easy to be super optimistic in terms of technology development, time frames, how the market will be growth, and so on. So we feel, and to be honest, we don't want to separate the industry between two kind of players, new and old space. In my opinion, that has no sense. We are working in the same business, we are working with the same rules, we are working with the same laws of physics. For us, it's super complex to operate the kind of business like the others they are doing in Europe and outside Europe from decades. So we respect a lot the current operators, and we are trying to learn, and we are trying to do our best to achieve the market in the most, let me say, honest path to achieve the market, because we know and we learn that path is super hard to walk through.
Raul, thank you very much. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure.